Good evening, peoples. Let's jump in here to GDX and GDXY. So we had a nice move. Everything moved, right? With the Fed, all they did was just kind of indicate that likely with the way they talk, that September we could get a rate cut. I think the market is pricing in 2 or 3 subsequent rate cuts, which I have no idea what all will happen. Obviously, these things, if anybody doesn't know, I think there are 8 FOMC meetings during a calendar year. Typically, they're about 6 weeks. So I didn't even look when the September, but knowing that we're, late July, that means the September one is probably like the second week. So now you're probably talking the end of October, first couple days of November. So there's probably only a September meeting, a November meeting, beginning late October, early November, and then a second week of December. So there are really only 3 meetings in the September, call it end of October, early November, and middle of December meeting. So yeah, they would have to cut every meeting if it's 3, and probably the first September meeting, if they're going to cut based on what we're seeing now, it's probably only a quarter point. So potentially 3/4 points. And so I think that's what the markets are pricing in. And hey, they moved nicely. I said gold would move up. It did. And people asked me in my Discord and in comments, what should I buy? What's going to move up? I said most everything. I didn't really look within like YIELDmax or Defiance to see if there was something that didn't move, but pretty much everything. Urax moved, energy moved, oil moved. Urax is 2x uranium. Okay, so what happened to GDX? It moved 2.65. And what did we do on GDXY? 1.72. Well, I can tell you right away that we ran by our 3750. You can see that with 3793. And again, I'm not really blaming the fund manager because kind of, we didn't know what we were going to get. But I think they're going to need to learn that when the metals are running, and now I would say they're going to run for the next 6 weeks. And remember, that's move up, pull back, move up, pull back, right? And I'm talking now more miners than just the metals, but the metals will replicate that movement. Okay, so let's take a look. No shares were traded. No shares were added. I shouldn't say traded. No shares were added, thus they didn't put on any additional trades. Okay, so let's look at our weeklies. And I mentioned, 3793, nice move up. GDX, nice move up. Call it 19, right? Call this 38. Well, you can see where we're capped, 1 1/3, right? And unfortunately, that's the big, massive quantity, right? So I hate to see it, but on the other hand, we're on a 37 underlying for our synthetic. So we got some nice profit there. AEM reported Anikio. Mining reported after the market. That was received positively. So let's see what their earnings call tomorrow morning does, but their earnings report afterward was positive. They moved up a little. They're around 77. They could move up to 79, 80. And if silver and gold continue, which I expect them to, they should do very well. Okay. So on that, let's go to holdings because now we can dial in. So right away, let's look at this synthetic. So with GDX moving up, look at the chart. That tells you everything. We're under, we're up a little bit. We're up a lot, right? 861,000 on this kind of a fund with, you know, 1,425,000 shares is nice. That's 60 something cents. And we really need that because we didn't have a lot of money in the kitty for GDXY because we were getting capped so many times. So you can see here, we're capped, but sorry guys, I had to cough, but I pushed my microphone out of the way. So you may not have even heard it. Um, so 72 cents, we'd have to buy back 489 on 203. So maybe we get lucky on Friday. Maybe we move up more tomorrow, and maybe we move down on Friday. So not too concerned. In this case, I'm sure the fund managers will do what I would do in this case, is just let it play out. I wouldn't recommend they go take it off the table and then watch it. I mean, it's one thing if gold opened up at $40 higher and GDX was at 40, I'd say, yeah, take it off the table. But, you know, with Friday being out there, you might as well let it play out because you're making the upside on the synthetic. All right, so what else? So we closed at 1897. They're saying fair value with the NAV and shares outstanding. It's 1892. So let's take a look. Oh, let me show you what I had here. I added a chart. And what this chart really is from a YouTube channel that I picked up on. And I love Elliott Wave. I have a few different people that I look at. So this particular Elliott Wave seems pretty feasible to me, right? So we had a flat here, and then we moved up in a wave one, knowing that we maybe have 5 waves to go through. And this can get invalidated for certain Elliott wave rules, but let's just assume this plays out. Like this low couldn't have gone lower than here and still been a wave one. So our wave two so far fits the rules. And wave three cannot be the shortest wave, so it has to be a large wave to play out. So there's 2 different scenarios, and you can't see all of this, so I typed in the detail. This is really August, so you can see it's just about lines up now with this having been the 30th, I think. And we could go look and see where gold is, and I'll do some of that. But the point is, it's showing a move to either 2675 or 2700 by the beginning of September. So if we get that $160, $200 in gold, remember you typically in the miners get a 2.5x to a 4x move in gold versus miners. So if you go and you say, okay, gold's moving up 3%, then we should move up 10%. So I haven't calculated it out, but we should do pretty well. So hopefully their next week's positions on the weekly, you know, get a little more aggressive and they go out 5, 7, 8%. But again, it's fits and starts, right? Wherever we figure we are here, you know, we're probably somewhere up in this 25, 25, you know, kind of a number. I'd almost have to pull this down to see. So yeah, this is showing somewhere in 25, 29 mode. So we shall see, but anyway, it looks pretty darn positive, peoples. So I'm happy. It looks like we are going to have a good August in the miners. And we shall see what September brings for all of us with the institutional money coming back to play. All right, so let's jump straight to payouts. So here's our 1425, 1,425,000, no change, right? So we've got 34 cents here, but we're losing 40 cents here because we haven't written any synthetics for a while, right? If we go out and look, 730 was the last time we wrote something. And at this point, we're not really making money. We're losing money because we're above 37. So when they buy the call, it's more expensive than the put. But that isn't going to stop them from doing that because this is out till September 20. And by the way, that's a higher number now. Yeah, 37.93. So our payout is we had almost no money. They had some reserve here left over, but now with where we are on the synthetic, again, if we go down a little bit, then the synthetic goes down a little. But at this point, we got 60 cents there. So I feel a lot better about it getting a 60 or 70 cent payout, because even if we lose a little this week, we're going to be able to write next week. And if we continue up, like I think we will between this week, if we don't move up this week, we'll move up next week and we'll collect more money on the synthetic. So it's looking to be a 65 to 80 cent payout. I just used a 70 cent payout on the current, and that's 44%. We could easily be 80 if we collect enough cash. All right, guys, that's what I got for you on GDXY. Remember what I was always saying, I'm very positive on GDX, precious metals miners, just like I'm bullish on Bitcoin. Short term, medium term, and especially medium and long term on the miners. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye for now.